Hello and welcome back to our reading club of You Were Born Rich, this very special book that Bob Proctor wrote many years ago. I'm very privileged to have Bob Proctor as my mentor and to be reading this with you and taking you through the You Were Born Rich book. If you don't have a copy of this book and you would like a PDF version of it, just comment on the thread and we'll get you the link to be able to download a PDF copy of You Were Born Rich. We're going to be picking up our study today in Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is on the law of vibration and the law of attraction. Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to effortlessly create results with ease and yet you struggle? Or why good things just keep coming to some people and they seem to be bypassing you? Well, it has everything to do with vibration and where you're at in terms of your vibration or how you feel dictates what you can attract to you. This is a really important chapter because a lot of people get confused and they think that law of attraction, that's where it's at. But in actual fact, the law of attraction is a secondary law. And the law of vibration is a foundational law of the universe. And as we get into this, you'll see that we're not talking about a concept that you wouldn't already be familiar with in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure you've all walked into a room before and you know that someone is in a bad mood. You better not talk to John today. He's definitely in a bad mood. How do you know that? Because you can pick it up. You can pick it up through how they feel. And you don't want to be around John. You're not attracted to John. And in the same instance, you walk into a room and you're drawn to somebody. They just light up the room. They have the most beautiful energy and you want to be around them. They're in a beautiful vibration and that person is going to continue to attract more and more good to them. So as you start to understand this concept and you learn how to execute it, you can actually create exactly what you want and bring about the results that you physically want to manifest. That's where it really starts to change your life. So we're going to pick up from page 116 of my book. We finished up yesterday's call with the everything is energy, everything vibrates paragraph from this chapter. So we're going to move on to the next section where it says, let there be light, your connecting link. And we're going to pick up our reading from there. Slowly but surely let us see with our inner eye of understanding how you may connect with the good that you desire to improve the quality of your own life. Would you like to improve the quality of your own life? Would you like to improve the results in virtually every area of your life? Two objects whose electromagnetic fields are the same as operating on the same frequency. Therefore, we can say they are in resonance, in harmony, or in rapport. When two objects are in resonance or vibrating at the same speed, the vibratory rate may be transmitted from one to the other through the medium of the electron. Resonance as a field of study is concerned with the electromagnetic fields surrounding objects. For example, we find a globe in a chandelier will vibrate when in resonance with a certain key on a piano, yet it will not vibrate to any other note on the piano keyboard. The two objects under discussion are composed of entirely different material and they have completely different shapes. Still, they are in resonance with one another due to the fact their ultimate magnetic fields are the same. They are within the same sphere of relative motion, and this holds true irrespective of their size, shape, or the elements of which they are composed. All electromagnetic waves or quantums have their own particular rate or frequency, which corresponds to the number of changes in direction they make per second. The electromagnetic wave spectrum is simply a scale of vibration, and it is subdivided into specific regions. Nevertheless, one must always remember these regions are not actual divisions, but merely arbitrary spaces covering frequencies that manifest in our senses in different ways. Each region actually blends into the one above and the one below, and in truth, there are no definite lines of demarcation. Now, that's a very important part of this to understand when it comes to goal accomplishment, and I'll explain that a little later. Everything is an expression of the same thing. Everything in this universe is connected to everything else in this entire universe through the law of vibration. Just as the colors in a rainbow are connected in such a way that you are not able to tell where one color stops and the other begins, so too are you unable to distinguish where one thing starts and another stops. Everything in this universe is connected to everything else in this universe, just as the water that boils is connected to the steam into which it transmutes, and the steam is connected to the ether or the air into which it changes. You too are connected to everything in the universe. Whether you can see it with the naked eye or not is unimportant. The only physical difference which exists between one thing and the other relates to the density or the amplitude of the vibration. Therefore, as soon as you choose certain thoughts, your brain cells are affected. These cells vibrate and send off electromagnetic waves. When you concentrate on those thoughts, you increase the amplitude of vibration of those cells, and the electric waves in turn become much more potent. Know that it is you who is originating those electric waves, and know that you are also determining the density of them by your own free will. You must, this is so exciting, because when you really study and understand this and learn how to apply it, you feel like you have the keys to the whole new kingdom for your entire life. That's exactly what I teach you how to do. You must also know, since you are originating these electric waves, your whole being is being put into that particular vibration. Now, you could be emitting waves of vibration bringing you things you don't want, or you could be emitting waves of vibration bringing you the things that you do want. Whichever way, you are emitting waves of frequency and vibration, and you are creating all of the results in your life right now based on that. Now, if you don't pay particular attention to getting in control of this, you could actually right now be manifesting and creating circumstances that you don't want, that you've experienced before, that has become patterns of behavior for you because you are ignorant to the fact of how to properly use your mind to create what you want. And what you want is well within your grasp. Do you understand? We have already covered the point that two objects may be of an entirely different material and shape and yet still be in resonance. This is due to the fact their ultimate magnetic fields are the same, because they are within the same sphere of relative motion. Keep in mind that resonance is the factor governing the transmutation of vibrations. When you hold the image of your goal on the screen of your mind in the present tense, you are vibrating in harmony, in resonance, with every particle of energy necessary for the manifestation of your image on the physical plane. By holding that image, those particles of energy are moving towards you, attraction, and you are moving towards them because that is the law. All things are merely manifestations of energy or spirit. When the world comes to understand this great truth, we will be aware that all people are the same. They only appear to be different. The true dividing lines for mankind are not borders, color, or language, but simply ignorance and its polar opposite, understanding. Now, the big problem with this is that people are holding the picture of their goal, if it's clear, possibly dated or not, probably not in the present tense. So you might think that you've got the right kind of goal set. You might have. It's unlikely unless you've really done some study around this in terms of the exact sort of goal you should be focused on. But then it takes discipline and the use of the mental faculties to actually be able to hold that picture, to be able to create the resonance and the vibration to bring you what you want for long enough. And the reason why that's really difficult is because you have this big problem called paradigms. But that problem called paradigms can also be your greatest possibility, because when you learn how to create the paradigms that you want, it's easier to fuse with the goal and to manifest the results that you want. The paradigms that you have at the moment are not in harmony with that goal that you've identified for yourself, which is why the paradigm always takes you away from, sabotages you, convinces you, makes you worry, doubt, fear, makes you feel anxious about your ability, whether you can do it or not. It keeps you in the same patterns of behavior in terms of earning money or your use of time or relationships, your productivity, effectiveness. So even though you might know you want something and you want to accomplish a goal, do something you've never done before, you're actually programmed right now to get the results that you're getting. And it takes a committed decision backed with action and accountability and support over a reasonable period of time. Over that reasonable period of time, your consciousness will shift, your awareness will shift, and your paradigms will begin to change, and your results will begin to change. Does that make sense? If you've got questions about this, comment on the thread. Know the truth, and the truth will set you free, helping others feel better. You automatically like people who cause you to feel good. It would necessarily follow, therefore, that others will like you when you cause them to feel good, or when you move them into a more positive vibration. For example, vibratory control of the body, mind, and soul of a person gives you a means for the restoration of positive vibrations through the medium of resonant electric waves of brain cells from you to the other person. As already stated, the human body, including the brain, is a high-powered electrical instrument. Therefore, you are a veritable broadcasting station relative to other people. When the tune-in between you and them has been completed, or when the composite personality has been established between you and the other person receives and becomes conscious of the vibrating thought which is being broadcast by you. There is no such thing as time and space. This is, you can communicate with a person on the other side of the world instantly. Under the law of the perpetual transmission and transmutation of energy, this is another foundational law of the universe. The other person, being a low potential of energy, takes on this added energy which is being sent out by you. And like a weak battery, the other person becomes recharged, more energetic and more positive as a result of his contact with you. The process of transmitting energy between you and the other person is exactly the same as the process which takes place between the broadcasting station and the radio. That is to say, laws which are identical in nature govern both phenomena. Vibrations and attitude. Attitude is lesson 9 of my Thinking into Results coaching. It's a life-changing lesson. Every physical thing throws off a vibration. Everything you see, hear, smell, taste, or touch throws off a vibration, because these things, like everything else, are in a constant state of motion. Whenever you get near enough to them to enter into their sphere of vibration, you will be affected by that vibration, whether you realize it or not. Have you ever noticed, for example, how peaceful you feel, vibrate, while walking alone in the woods? The law operates exactly in the same way in the mental realm. For when a person thinks a thought, it means the person has consciously or unconsciously started a group of brain cells vibrating abnormally. Once these brain cells, being things, begin to vibrate abnormally, they throw off a wave of electronic energy which moves out seeking a place to land. If you are in the space of their vibrations, and you happen to have similar cells that are in rapport, in harmony or agreement with the ones vibrating in the other person's brain, then you receive these vibrations and are affected mentally by them, either negatively or positively. It is clear that everyone in sales or management will thoroughly understand this information. Let us suppose that another person is vibrating to anger concepts. If you are the type of person who becomes easily angered, and you happen to enter the vibratory field of those anger vibrations, then those vibrations will strike the anger cells in your own brain. A condition of resonance being present, those vibrations will start your brain cells vibrating, and your entire being will move into that vibration. And you know, this happens so instantly because you're not reasoning with the thought, you're not reasoning with the feeling, you're not replacing it with a new idea because you're not switched on and using your mental faculties. But you can start to develop them, and you can shut down this and choose a new thought that is in vibratory alignment with what it is that you really want. Does that make sense? You have the ability to do this. You'll become irritated or angry, even though you may or may not know the cause of your own anger. If you do not understand what has happened, you will be at a loss to change the conditions which caused the effect in the first place. And what do you think happens? Next time you react in exactly the same way. And the pattern continues and you never get out of the cycle of it. The same principle applies to all mental vibrations. As soon as a person starts to think, he starts brain cells vibrating. Energy is released and therefore in the forms of electrons which travel out according to the intensity of the thought involved. Whoever stops that energy is affected by it. But bear in mind, the only thing which stops a thought is that which resonates with that thought. This means if you should run into an electromagnetic vibratory field of negative thoughts, you will, if you are that type of person, become negative yourself. Conversely, if you run into a positive vibratory field, you will experience the opposite of the negative, namely the positive. Since the air we breathe is literally filled with both types of vibrations, they are constantly bouncing into your brain. As a result, you could become like a ship without a rudder, tossed about at the mercy of whatever is vibrating or in the air. However, once you understand the law of vibration, and also I might add, once you understand how to properly utilize the two parts of your mind, you're in the position to insulate yourself against the negative vibrations. You can then be in control of yourself in the true sense of the word, and you'll begin to attract to you the things and circumstances that you choose. Become a mental magnet. Attract what you need for the physical manifestation of your image. If it is true that energy or spirit is neither created nor destroyed, and everything in its original state is either energy or spirit, it necessarily follows that everything you will ever want is already here. It is simply a matter of choosing the thoughts which will put you into a harmonious vibration with the good that you desire. Everything you are seeking is seeking you in return. Therefore, everything you want is already yours. So you don't have to get anything. It is simply a matter of becoming more aware of what you already possess. The moment you bring your life into harmony with the law, into harmony with the current of divine order, you will find that the negative will have taken wings, for its cause will have been removed, and you will no longer attract what you don't want. This is powerful. You want to learn how to do this. I can teach you how to do this. I keep going on about my coaching, but it's for good reason, and I'll keep selling you on it until you're into it, because I know the difference it's going to make in your life when you're in it and you're committed to it. Everything in your life is going to change, and I won't ever apologize for continuing to talk about it and sell you into it and commit to you, and you commit to yourself that you're going to do it, because I know the difference it's going to make in your life. The secret to receiving on the physical plane the results you desire is always locked into the law of attraction. This entire book has been designed to help you understand how to get into harmonious vibration with the good you desire, and then how to stay in that positive vibration so you will begin to attract whatever you need for the image of prosperity to move into form. The Acorn Analogy. In Raymond Holliwell's magnificent book, Working with the Law, Holliwell points out in the chapter entitled The Law of Success the following: all of the processes of nature are successful. Nature knows no failures. She never plans anything but success. She aims at results in every form and manner. To succeed in the best and fullest sense of the term, we must, with nature as our model, copy her methods. In her principles and laws, we shall discover all the secrets of success. Keep in mind that everything in this universe you can see with the naked eye, and everything you cannot see is an expression of spirit. Also bear in mind that spirit operates by exact laws. You are subject to those laws in just the same manner nature is. Therefore, Holliwell was right. We definitely should copy nature's methods. For years, I have held up an acorn in the seminar and used it as a device for helping people to gain a better understanding of how the law of attraction actually works in their lives. So please visualize, if you will, an acorn. Then think, really think about what it is that you are looking at. Although the acorn may appear to be a solid object, by now you should clearly understand that the acorn, like everything else which appears to be solid, is in truth a mass of molecules at a very high speed of vibration. Within the acorn, there is a nucleus or a pattern plan that dictates the vibratory rate at which these molecules will move. Moreover, the same principle holds true for all seeds. In other words, every seed has a nucleus and a pattern plan within it, which dictates the vibration it will be in, and which thereby governs the end product into which it will expand and grow. Now think about this with respect to where you're at right now. What sort of seeds are you planting? Are you planting the seeds of what you want? Have you tended to your garden of your mind recently? Are you planting the right seeds in that garden of your mind and fertilizing it, nurturing it, looking after it? Or are you planting seeds, old patterned thoughts and ideas of things you don't want? And you're getting very emotionally involved with those outcomes you don't want, which is like drenching it, right? And you're going to grow that. So you have a choice here. You can become aware of how to really plant the seeds into the garden of your mind to grow what you want, or you can continue to plant the seeds and ideas of the things that you don't want and grow more of that. Everything is a choice. You are the master gardener. You get to decide what you grow in your garden: weeds or roses, wealth or prosperity, abundance or bad luck. It's all a choice, and the choice is yours. I believe you are all aware of this fact. Everything in the universe is governed by a basic law, either create or disintegrate. Therefore, it follows that if something is not in the process of growing, it must be in the process of dying. For example, so as long as the acorn is kept out of the earth, it is slowly but surely disintegrating. However, as soon as you plant the acorn in the earth, the pattern plan or the vibratory rate of the acorn sets up an attractive force, and the acorn begins to attract everything that vibrates in harmony with it. If you were able to observe with the naked eye exactly what is taking place, you would see a parade or particles of energy, a never-ending stream of them, marching in a very orderly manner towards the acorn. As they come in contact with the molecules making up the acorn, they would join, marry, become one, and of course, the acorn would expand, become larger, and grow. Now consider this. If you were to put 2 drops of water and 2 drops of oil on an arborite table, and then you were to move them together, the 2 drops of water would resonate and become one larger drop of water as they come in contact with each other. On the other hand, if you were to move the water towards the oil, they would actually repel each other because they are not in a harmonious vibration. Likewise with the acorn, the only things which join with the acorn are those particles of energy which are vibrating in harmony with it. All the other particles of energy which make up the earth are repelled. As the acorn expands from the never-ending stream of molecules which are attracted to it, little shoots begin to come out of the bottom and out of the top of it. These shoots in turn begin to develop into roots as they grow or expand and burst through the earth into the earth's atmosphere. This attractive force continues, and the particles of energy from the atmosphere are attracted to it, just as the particle of energy in the earth were attracted to it. As the acorn continues to expand, at some point it ceases to be an acorn and it begins to become an oak tree. The roots, the trunk, the bark, the branches, the twigs, and the leaves are all in the universe, and they are attracted to the acorn because of the nucleus or the pattern plan which rests within the seed. Now, if you're already in my coaching program in Thinking into Results or Lead the Field, what we're referring to here is what you're studying with lesson 1 and lesson 6. So you can go back to those lessons and you can start to dig into the content in there, and you can think about what is the nucleus that you're working with and what is the pattern plan of what you're programming to grow in terms of physical results. So lesson 1 and lesson 6 for you to have a look at there. Now, unlike the human creature, the acorn does not have the ability to change its vibratory rate. It can therefore only grow into that in which it has been programmed to grow, namely an oak tree. You are much like the acorn in many respects. For example, you are also a seed relative to the whole scheme of things. However, the difference between you and the acorn is that since you are a co-creator, you can choose your own programming. Let me just say that again for the people in the back. You can choose your own programming. Therefore, the image you choose to hold on the screen of your conscious mind and plant deeply in the treasury of your subconscious mind is the pattern planned or the nucleus which determines what you will eventually grow into. It dictates the vibration you will be in and also controls what you will attract to you and what you repel. This is an orderly universe. Nothing happens by accident. The images which you plant in your marvelous mind instantly set up an attractive force which governs your results in life. You must remember, though, if your image is continually fluctuating, you will continually be growing into something different, and that sets in motion a most chaotic process. Unfortunately, those individuals who are unaware of these very exact laws are planting images of plenty in their minds 1 minute and then images of poverty the next. They are continually switching vibrations, so they are attracting good things 1 minute and then bad things the next. The sad truth is the vast majority of these people spend their entire lives oscillating between these two extreme positions, with the resulting effect that their lives become disordered and chaotic to the nth degree. Although it is true that everything you will ever want is already here, it is up to you to get into harmony with it. Clearly, you will never get into harmony with prosperity if you insist upon holding images of lack and limitation in the storehouse of your marvelous mind. I cannot say that enough. I see this time and time again, and it's sad for those people that never make a decision to change it. They stay stuck, and they'll probably go to their grave stuck, and you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Since you are always magnetized towards something, it follows it can never be anyone else's fault but your own. When something comes into your life you supposedly do not want, understand you have ordered it and it is being delivered to you right on schedule. So you know what? You want to understand that you can order what you want and it can be delivered to you right on schedule. But you're going to have to make a move. You're going to have to make a committed decision. You're going to have to have the courage to act and to really become aware of how to do this. If not, you're going to keep attracting the images of things that you don't want. And you're better than that. You know you're better than that. You know you're capable of more than that. One simple move, one simple decision could change everything for you. And so fast, you will look back and think, far out, I need a telescope because I've come so far in such a short amount of time. That is the truth of this when you really get into it. So I'm going to leave you with that today. That's chapter 6 of You Were Born Rich. Tomorrow we'll move on to chapter 7, the risk takers, and we'll have a conversation about that. I'm Karen Brook. It's been great to be with you here today. If you'd like to reach out and have a conversation about changing your life and improving the results in every single area of your life, send me a message and we'll sit down and connect. Take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.